Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, sisters and brothers present in Geneva or following elsewhere online. I offer my congratulations to the Lutheran World Federation for organizing this important event on faith-based actors and prevention of violence against children. As you know, the World Council of Churches promotes Christian unity in faith, witness, and service for a just and peaceful world. An ecumenical fellowship of churches founded in 1948. Today, the WCC brings together 349 Protestant, Orthodox, Anglican, and other churches, representing more than 580 million Christians in over 120 countries, and works cooperatively with the Roman Catholic Church. When we launched the Church's commitments to children in partnership with UNICEF 5 years ago, we received positive responses from churches and partners across the world who witness violence against children at the grassroots level every day. The willingness of churches to unite for children and join hands with secular partners led to a network of 1,400 influential supporters, ranging from church leaders to Nobel Prize winners and activists at the grassroots level, collaborating around the action plan for now over 5 years and sharing hundreds of tools to end violence. The resources offered to churches' commitments to children are growing all the time. Through the global partnership to end violence against children, expertise and good practices helped to adapt the engagement of churches to the COVID-19 crisis, which exacerbated various forms of violence against children. Let me offer you some examples of steps taken by churches to prevent and respond to violence against children. Just to name a few, these efforts range from addressing child modern slavery, such as the shelter Obra Ecumenica Barrio Boro in Uruguay, where adolescent victims of trafficking receive vocational training, to campaigns to end corporal punishment, such as the petitions and theological studies of the Anglican Church in Canada to prohibit violent disciplining, and the inclusion of end violence resources in worship, Bible studies, and Sunday schools through National Council of Churches in Africa and Asia. Last year, the Out of the Shadows toolkit was developed by WCC to support churches' response to sexual violence against children and adapt prevention measures to the COVID context. In Nigeria, where the Christian Council of Churches has now adopted the Out of the Shadows materials as part of its official materials, around 40 million people in church communities and church-run schools are reached by the campaign. Because it is essential that children can speak out in confidential settings when they are at risk or victims of violence, our Out of the Shadows campaign promotes awareness about the toll-free child helplines through church facilities. As a precondition for any activities related to children, every church should have a solid child safeguarding policy and verify that measures are in place to prevent any misconduct in activities involving children and adolescents. I speak here not only about prevention of grave crimes, such as sexual abuse of children, but the whole range of mistreatment of children. The WCC's child safeguarding policy and related tools now serve as model for member churches. To support younger children in the ecumenical movement and raise their confidence in seeking help when they suffer from any form of violence, the Protestant Church in Geneva developed with us a special puppet theater, which is play for Sunday schools with Theo puppets. Their video episodes also explain how churches support refugee children and undertake initiatives to protect the planet with and for children. In fact, as documented by UNICEF, we see an increase of violence against children due to the consequences of the climate emergencies worldwide. A new form of psychological violence against children has emerged. The eco-anxiety feared by children of the future that scientists predict. For example, as in the recent IPCC report, in case CO2 emissions continue to increase. Therefore, the Church's commitment to children initiative accelerates efforts to address climate-related root causes of child rights violations. Through support received from the Killing Curve Prize, we strengthen the initiatives of young people to influence decisions that affect their future. We very much look forward to collaborating with many of you attending this event in doing what the children and teenagers in the climate marches are demanding from adults, namely changing the systems which fuel the climate crisis while we speak. As faith-based actors, we directly influence communities at grassroots level, and at the same time influence policies for the prevention of and response to violence against children, seizing the possibilities offered by human rights mechanisms. The Lutheran Global Network initiatives, along with member churches and World Service humanitarian development country programs, have a great potential to help accelerate churches' efforts to end violence against children. Thank you very much for helping to raise awareness on how much can be achieved together to end violence against children.